Okay. Okay, this is round 2. So we're looking at our chapter 3 and 4 final review. So these are the last things that we're going to go over today. There are just a couple of sections. So there's a section that says evaluate each function. Remember, evaluate just means like plug in. Okay, just plug in the number, plug it into your calculator, get it going. So evaluate each function. And then we're going to write the slope-intercept form of some lines. That's y equals mx plus b. So we're going to write some slope-intercept form. We're going to write some more slope-intercept form. We're going to write even more slope-intercept form. And then for the very last one, we're going to write the explicit formula of a sequence. Okay, before we get going, I'm going to remind you of the explicit formula for the sequence. Might as well write it down while we're here. Looks like a little n equals a little 1 plus the pattern or the common difference in parentheses n minus 1. So it's just like that. And then we'll plug in 52 to get the 52nd term. Okay, but let's go right here to the chapter 3 and 4 final. So right back up to number 1. They give us this function. This function's name is w. And in the parentheses, they're just giving a heads up. They're saying, hey, by the way, t is the variable we're using. Maybe it stands for time. Maybe it stands for tomatoes. Maybe it stands for toucans. I don't know. Okay. And so giving you this equation. So this is the important part right here, the 4t minus 3. And that says find w of 9. So it means plug in 9. So I'm going to do 4, but instead of the t, I'm plugging in 9. 4 times 9 minus 3. Then we can just plug that in our calculator. So 4 times 9 is going to be 36 minus 3. So w of 9 is equal to 33. That's the whole thing. I'm going to double check that I did that right, but I think I did. Yeah. 4 times 9 minus 3. 33. Yeah, okay, just double checking. So w of 9 equals 33. Okay, awesome. Let's get number 2. So f of x, so this function's name is f. The variable I chose to use for x, it probably stands for xylophones. I don't know. So the important part is this x cubed minus 3x. It's asking you to plug in -5. So we're going to say -5 cubed minus 3 times -5. Okay. -5 cubed is going to be -125. Minus 3 times -5 will be plus 15. So I think our final answer, which is f of -5, equal to -110. I plug it all in on my calculator. Okay, here's the next one. This function's name is g, and the function itself is 3x minus 2. We're going to plug in -3. So I've got 3 times -3 minus 2. 3 times -3 is -9 minus 2, get -11, and that is g of -3. G of -3 equals -11. Okay, let's look at number 4. This function's name is p. Maybe this is a function for price of tomatoes. I don't know, because they're using t again. And they gave us 7, so they want us to plug in 7 everywhere that there is a t. So I'm going to say -2 times 7 squared plus 5 times 7. Order of operations tells me to do the 7 squared first. That's -2 times 49 plus 5 times 7. I'm going to plug that in my calculator now. So I'm going to do -2 times 49. I got -63. So apparently P of 7 is -63 is our final answer. Awesome. Okay, number 5. Let's go ahead and plug in 4 for A. So G of 4 is 4 squared plus 3. I think that's just 16 plus 3, which is 19. So G of 4 equals 19. And number 6, plugging in 1. So I'm plugging in 1 where the t's are. So I have K of 1 is equal to -1 squared plus 3 plus 2 times 1. plug that all in our calculator. 1 squared is 1, but that's negative, so -1 plus 3 plus 2 gets us our final answer. So k of 1 is equal to 4. Okay, that is solving for or evaluating each function, just plugging whatever number they put in the parentheses, you're going to plug that in for the variable, put it in your calculator, see what number you get out. That's your answer. So you could pause the video here and practice these 6 problems, plugging them in on your other version of the test. Okay. Back to writing slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. So they gave us a slope, that's m. So I know m equals 4. They gave us the y-intercept, that's b. So b equals 0. So then y equals mx plus b is going to look like y equals m, which is 4, x plus b, which is 0. Final answer. That's it. Next one. Slope equals 3. So m equals 3. Y-intercept, which is b, equals 0. Then my y equals mx plus b is y equals m, which is 3, x plus b, which is 0. Y equals 3x plus 0. The slope can be a fraction. The y-intercept can be any number that happened to be 0 both of these times. It's kind of lame, but that's all you're looking for, plugging in the slope and the y-intercept into the equation. Okay, on the next page, it says write the slope-intercept form, which is still y equals mx plus b. Has not changed since we flipped the paper over. Of the equation of the line through the given point with the given slope. Okay, they told us point slope. So I'm going to use my point slope form to get there. So I'm going to go y minus y1 equals m in parentheses x minus x1. Let me show you how that works again. Remember that you are in charge of replacing the y1, the m, and the x1. Everything else stays the same. So for instance, on this first problem, I got y minus the y1, which is the 0, equals the m, which is the -1/4, in parentheses, x minus the x number, which is 4. Okay, so I've got it written in point slope form, but it asked me to go to y equals mx plus b. So I need to keep doing that. The -0 doesn't really matter. I don't need to write it. So y equals, let's distribute the -1/4 x. So -1/4 x, -1/4 times x, which is -1/4 x, and then -1/4 times -4. Remember that secret I told you about? If the bottom of the fraction and the number you're multiplying by match, they cancel out. So -1/4 times -4 is +1. So it'll just be +1. So my answer will be y equals -1/4 x plus 1. Let's double check and see how much we have left. All right. Number 10. We go through the point 4, -4, and have a slope of -9/4. So I'm going to have y minus my y number, which is -4. So y minus -4. Some of you might recognize that y minus -4 is just y plus 4, actually. Equals my slope, which is -9/4, in parentheses, x minus my x number, which is 4. Okay, so I've got y plus 4. Need to distribute this -9/4 x. And then -9/4 times -4. So there's that 4 and that 4 that are going to cancel out again. And I have -9 times, they're still a negative, so my answer would be +9. Then all I have to do is subtract this 4 away to get my final answer. And I'll have y equals -9/4 x plus 9 minus 4 leaves me with +5. Equals 9/4 x plus 5. Okay. Nice one. Awesome. Okay. Okay, write the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line through the given points. So they gave us 2 points. We need to figure out the slope. Okay, so there are a couple different ways to do the slope. You can do a table, or sometimes I like to use just the equation. And the equation says to do y minus y, which is -5 minus -5 over x minus x, so 4 minus 0. Okay, be very careful that you're making sure to get your y's on the top of the fraction and your x's on the bottom of the fraction. Otherwise, your slope will be upside down and it'll make the whole problem wrong. So -5 minus -5 is like -5 plus 5. So that's 0/4. Okay, 0 over a number is okay. It's just 0. So apparently my slope is 0. That means it's just a flat line. But let's go ahead and plug it in. So I'm going to go y minus, I'm going to pick my favorite one, and I'm going to pick this 0.0 negative 5 because there's a 0 in it, and sometimes that makes things easier. So y minus negative 5 equals the slope we just found, 0 times x minus 0. Kind of weird. Okay, so I have y minus negative 5 is really plus 5. So y plus 5 equals 0 times x is 0. 0 times 0 is 0. So this is 0. So all I have to do is subtract 5 from both sides. I should end up with my answer. Y equals 0 minus 5 is negative 5. So it's just a flat line at negative 5. And that makes sense because the 0.4 negative 5 and the 0.0 negative 5 would both be on the flat line at negative 5. This one looks kind of similar, but it's a little bit different. Okay, let's find the slope. So y minus y is negative 5 minus 0 over 0 minus 4. Doesn't really matter to subtract 0, so that's just negative 5 over 0 minus 4 is negative 4. I'm going to change that both to a positive. That's 5/4 as our slope. Then I'll pick my favorite point. I'm going to pick the one 4, 0 because I just did. I don't know. I need to write it in point slope form. So I'm going to go y minus my y number, which is 0, equals my slope, which is 5/4 in parentheses x minus 4. That is point slope form. Now, so doing the minus 0 doesn't really matter, so I'll cross that out and we just have y equals. Multiply that out. 5/4 times x is 5/4 x. 5/4 times negative 4, however, is going to be negative 5 because the 4s will cancel out. I'll keep that negative. I'll keep that 5. So I have y equals 5/4 x minus 4. Minus 5, sorry. 5/4 x minus 5. Nice. Okay. Last thing says find the 52nd term and the explicit formula. I'm actually going to do the formula first because I see the pattern here is adding 200. So my explicit formula will just look like a little n equals my starting number, which is 7, plus 200 times n minus 1. That's the whole explicit formula. Then to get the 52nd term, because that's what it asks for, I say a 52 equals 7 plus 200 times 52 minus 1. I'm going to put that in my calculator. So let's see what we got here. 7 plus 251. 10,207. So a 52 equals 10,207. Nice. So that's an answer, and this explicit formula was an answer as well. Okay, we want to do the same thing on number 14. So I'm going to say a n equals my starting number, which is 22. Then I should have checked my pattern first. My pattern first, I believe, is plus 8. So I'm going to go plus 8 in parentheses n minus 1. There's your explicit formula. Then we need to plug in 52. So I'm going to say a of 52 equals 22 plus 8 times 52 minus 1. That's 22. Oops. I'm going to do that on my calculator. 22 plus 8, 51. 430. A 52 equals 430. Be my final answer. Okay, I think that's everything. That's all the chapter's thing for. So these ones are a little bit harder, especially the writing equations ones. Okay, so if you need to watch the video on that again, you're welcome to. Or if you just want to look on Khan Academy or YouTube video, remember how to write your slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b, in kind of all 3 of these different scenarios. But if you've got these done, then you will be well on your way. You will be prepared for the final that will be on Friday. It's just going to have questions just like this, but it won't quite be as long. And you'll be all ready to go. Okay.